Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, collectors of all ages, welcome back to AussieVerse Comics and Collectors. I am OmniBeau, joined by Mark Grodd Watson and Ryan. How are you guys?
Good.
Feeling,
How
feeling
was
super.
Yeah. How was everyone's weekend?
Pretty good. I went and saw Black Adam, and that was about it. What about you guys?
Right? What'd you get up to on the weekend?
I stayed in all weekend. It was great.
Sounds like my type of weekend. Yeah, no, I went and saw Black Adam too as well. Been home for a bit. I actually played some baseball on Sunday, so
Nice.
first time ever. I've always wanted to play, and I joined this social league, and I'm playing a season of social league baseball. You can have
Nice.
beers. You can have beers while you actually play.
Now I might play.
Yeah. There's people out there that have never played it. I've never played it since high school, so I thought I've always wanted to play, so I did it.
Good on you,
Bit of
mate.
socialising. There's guys out there that have just barely even played sports. They're just doing it for socially, but it's fun. I had a ridiculously good time. I can't wait till this Sunday. It's every Sunday.
Is it far away from you?
It's in Port Melbourne, so it's about if you
That's
take
nice.
City Link, so it's about 15 minutes. So it's not bad.
Yeah. Sweet. All right. If you are new to the AussieVerse, please like, subscribe, because we do want to build this community, because we are so close to the 400 subscriber giveaway. If you do put any comments under the description, please let us know what videos you would like to see, any sort of information critiquing or anything that you do want to see, let us know. And if you don't want to make it a public comment, feel free to hit us up on Instagram at AussieVerse_comics_collectors, where you can also hit up our graphic designer and editor, A51_designs on Instagram too. Enough of the plug-in. Let's get down to the lovin' and comic book news. What do you guys want to talk about first? We've got a few things.
So I'll start off with a couple of Marvel news. I'll get two out of the way first. We'll go to Sacha Baron Cohen as Mephisto in Ironheart. Is the rumor he's going to play Mephisto in Ironheart? What are your thoughts on that?
Before seeing him in drama, I'd be a little concerned. After seeing him in drama, I trust Marvel's choice in actors.
Right?
Well, with them doing the Hood in Ironheart, it makes sense that they do Mephisto.
Oh,
Yeah.
is so tied into Ironheart's origin.
Okay.
Well, they're gonna probably use Mephisto and tie it to the Hood's origin.
Interesting. Okay.
I guess I've never seen a show that you mentioned, Bo. So he kind of does look evil. So if you do dress him up as pretty evil, like the devil, he would look like Dave Grohl looks in Tenacious D movie. He's kind of got that look about it.
Everyone's just gonna think of Borat when he shows up.
No, not necessarily. I think he's proven his acting chops.
I think he's got range. Look, because his whole life he's played a different character. Like he started LEG. Like you look at his stuff now, you would not think he's LEG back in the day, would you? So he's kind of got range. He does. It's all being comedic, but
and you know what? It's a lot harder to be a comedic actor than a dramatic actor as well. And you'll find a lot of comedians, you see Robin Williams and Jim Carrey play serious roles, and they really spin you out because they're so good at it.
Well, I think comedy actors have really been put under the radar here. Like they're I think it's a talent that people don't respect as much because you think about how hard it would be to be just ridiculous in camera and not crack up all the time. And you would see it. Like imagine Will Ferrell. like you see that outtakes. Will Ferrell never cracks up laughing when he's in comedy acting.
Yeah.
And it would be so hard to act that silly sometimes and not laugh.
Yeah.
But he never does because it's just him. And I think that's a talent. And you're right, Bo. I think it's a talent. And then you can move that to serious acting. As you said, like Jim Carrey has done it before. Robbie Williams has done it before. Look, even Bruce Willis was a comedian before he became an action hero. So,
yeah. I think it's a lot easier to do action roles and serious roles because, you know, you just have to embody the mood and the type of person that you're trying to be and all that. Where being a comedian, you know, trying to purposely make people laugh, it's got to be harder.
It's hard. Oh, I reckon it's heaps harder. I reckon because, yeah, agree. So,
That's Spidey.
My second bit of news. So the Yaha Abdul Matone is playing Wonder Man. So this is the guy who plays Black Manta. He's in Candyman. He is in talks to play Wonder Man.
Wow. Okay. That's an interesting choice. That's an interesting choice. I thought he's a good actor. I thought he's done well. He was in something that I really enjoyed, and it wasn't Aquaman, but I noticed, yeah, he's a good actor.
So he's in Candyman, in the new Candyman.
Yep.
And he was in the new Matrix. So he's Morpheus in the new Matrix. He's in The Greatest Showman.
He's in The Greatest Showman, is he?
Yes. So he's the brother of, what's her name, Zelda.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I remember watching it and just going, hey, that's Black Panther. So, yeah.
Wow. That's definitely something I didn't know. I'm going to have to definitely check that out again. I love that movie.
Yeah.
Man. Can't wait to just see Wonder Man bust out into song during the middle of his show.
Well, he's got the range. So I don't know much about Wonder Man. Would you enlighten me? Any of you know much about him? Or
so Wonder Man was always a character that, going by powers, should have always been a hell of a lot more prominent in stories and a much bigger character than he was. But he never was. For reasons I don't understand, which I'm sure there's people out there that do. He was always a B-grade character. But the attraction to a TV show, I think, is, especially after doing one like She-Hulk, is it's unique because you've got like a Johnny Cage from Mortal Kombat style character where you've got it's not that he's arrogant, but he's very much into himself. Because he's a movie star. And obviously that was during a long period of Wonder Man. There's been different periods of Wonder Man where he's not this arrogant buffoon where, like currently, for example, he's anti-violence. And, you know, he's a powerhouse and he's got to try and take people down and be a part of the Avengers without causing violence. But I'd put money on the fact that the show's going to be based on him being an actor and either being a famous actor that's also a superhero or a superhero trying to be a famous actor.
Okay. Yeah, so very much like Johnny Cage.
I'm going to call it now. The TV show, it's not going to come out as a TV show. It'll get changed over into a special.
Like Werewolf by Night?
Yep.
Okay.
Because it has been reported that they're thinking about doing more specials, and some of the stuff that's been announced will be turned into specials.
Yeah, and I guess you can test the water and see if it does well, and then you can move on from there, can't you?
Yeah.
It's not a bad thing. That's the beauty about being a streaming service at your disposal. Let's just put a one-off out there, like a one-shot in the comics. See if it does well. If it does well, make a mini out of it or make it ongoing.
Yeah. If something works, do it again. Like, you know, Werewolf by Night obviously worked, so do another one shot. Like, they could take the easy route and just do it every Halloween, but I think they'd be dumb not to do some sort of Midnight Suns-ish movie or TV show eventually. Obviously it just depends on the cast of characters because it can be a number of people.
Which brings me on to my next news. Florence Pugh. She's Yelena in Black Widow. She has been given a sum of 8 figures for the new Thunderbolts movie.
Wow.
So 8 figures would mean bare minimum is 10 million to play in the Thunderbolts as obviously maybe a lead, but it's not it's a team sort of thing. So that is the report.
What does that tell you though? That tells
she'll
you
be the lead.
Yeah. She'll be the lead, and it's also the fact is, didn't she just win an Academy Award or part of the Academy Award? So maybe maybe she's they really wanted to keep her, or maybe she was threatening to leave, and she's done well so far. But yeah,
she has actually. I've been watching a lot of her stuff in the last year or so, and it's all been really good.
I would really like to see her more. So again, if you got the money, as long as
Martin, I highly doubt it. Highly doubt it. I would love it if they did, but I highly doubt it.
Maybe in phase 76.
Yeah. She did this other one, I think last year, where she's had a lot of death in her life, and her boyfriend takes her onto his holiday during summer, and she wasn't meant to be a part of it, and they end up going to Sweden, and they end up just meeting this really enclosed town of people, and that's all I'll say. But it gets really freaky, and I've really enjoyed it. I suggest looking up movies she's done and checking that one out because it was creepy and it was good.
Cool. Well, to be honest, like the things that I have seen her in, like obviously Black Widow, the movie, I do think she was the shining light in that. She was probably the best in that.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And it's not even an argument, is it? Really? But no. And then in Hawkeye, the brief appearance in that, she killed it. Absolutely, she was awesome. So yeah, I think it's like when I heard it, it's a big sum. It's a big sum. I get it, but there's been actors in other movies that have gotten more. So yeah.
Yep. Exactly. I still think the Abomination's going to be in Thunderbolts.
I think
you're dreaming with where they left him in She-Hulk.
I'm dreaming.
I've been watching a TV series called Lie to Me.
That is such a good show.
Yeah, it's got Tim Roth in it. So
yeah, I used to love that show.
So after we watched She-Hulk, we started watching that because it just jogged under and we go, let's watch that. And yeah, great show.
Yeah. How long did it go for?
4 seasons, maybe. Yeah. But yeah, good show. Next, you got news?
Yeah. For years they've been trying to make this Red Sonja movie, and that seems to be going ahead well. Did you guys ever see the original Red Sonja movie?
No.
What's a Red Sonja? That's like no one cares about Red Sonja.
What do you mean?
When
no
you decouple Red Sonja from Conan, it's just like, who cares?
It's the female Conan the Barbarian counterpart. That was a good film when I was a kid. I liked it.
What's her name that played? Is Xena going to play her? The woman that played Xena?
God, no, I think she's a bit too old now. No, it's No, it's, let's see here. It's going to be Matilda Lutz. If that name means anything to you.
Doesn't ring any bells. But no, I never did see that either as a young person. So,
you've got to see the original Red Sonja.
I probably will at some stage now. But yeah, I've seen it around, but yeah, just never sat down and watched it.
Yep, fair enough.
So I guess I'll move on to a bit of DC news. So there was a leak come out that say Michael Keating got $2 million for a cameo in Batgirl that didn't even got cancelled. He got paid $2 million.
That wouldn't surprise me.
Apparently, it was only just a cameo too.
Well, that makes sense because if you were gonna put Batman in that movie, he would probably overshadow Batgirl. If you have him in a large chunk of the movie, so just having him in there as a cameo to get things rolling makes sense.
What do you think about?
I'm a little relieved now about not seeing The Flash yet, because my biggest draw to seeing this movie was Michael Keaton as Batman. And I was always wondering how much of a role he's going to have in this movie. Now that's been answered, I'm like, yeah, well, I'll see it when it comes out, but I'm not going to, run to the cinema for it, especially after Black Adam, because Black Adam really was, and I don't mean to shit on it because it's not horrible, it's not bad, but it was my last straw for thinking like, oh, this DC movie is going to be awesome. You know what I mean? Like from now on, it's just going to be, and that's the way they were for a while anyway. But because Shazam was being made for 10 years, The Rock was so passionate about it, all this other sorts of crap. I believed it was going to be awesome, but we'll save that for another video. Sorry.
No, that's okay. Well, I loved Black Adam, but as I said, we're all different. So not because of the Black Adam part. I love Dr. Fate and I loved Hawkman. If we can get a Hawkman series movie, for God's sake, sign me up, because what's his name? Idris Elba. No, not Idris Elba. Idris Hodge. Sorry. Did an amazing job. But yeah, as I said, we'll save this for another time. But yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree with you there. He did.
Hodge was awesome as Hawkman, and anyway, we'll save it for later on. But yeah, you're right. Look, I don't know about superhero movies these days. At the moment, it's kind of 50-50 superhero movies at the moment, because there's been a few Marvel ones that have been a very big miss. There's been a few DC ones that have been hit, but then there's been ones that have been missed, because I like the Suicide Squad a lot.
I haven't seen Black Adam yet, but what I can say is, if DC can get all their ducks in a row, they're going to smack the crap out of Marvel.
Yeah, but that's a big if, though. I mean, how many years have we been saying that? And, like, I know what's going on at DC at the moment gives you hope and pause to hope it's going to be different. But is it ever? It's too late. Like, they can make a great Superman movie. They can make a great Green Lantern movie. They can make all the great movies they want, but they're never going to catch up to the level of Marvel. You know what I mean? Even if they had an awesome saga that started in Black Adam and ends in 10 movies from now, and they have this massive end game sort of thing, it might still be epic and it might still be cool, but it's still too late. Like, we've seen it. You know what I mean? The only way they're going to do better is if they do something the same, but different? And I don't know what that answer is.
I'm not saying it'll be better. I'm just saying it'll be better than what we're getting out of Marvel now.
Yeah.
More or less. Like, pretty much, think of it like this. There's no Iron Man. There's no Steve Rogers Captain America. Soon enough, there probably won't be a Bruce Banner Hulk on the screen. There's no Black Widow at the moment. Who is, like, the main character of the MCU at the moment? There is no main character, really. Whereas all DC have to do is just go, here's your Batman, your Superman, your Wonder Woman, Aquaman, Green Lantern, go.
Yeah. It's hard to argue that too.
And they've got it right at the peak now. See, I kind of look at it as a situation like I'll do way out of probably fans, and some fans of this show probably might not get this analogy, but I'll go with a sports analogy here. So, say one team's good, one team sucks. But in sports, sometimes it's called a rebuild. So you got to rebuild. You're gonna be bad for a couple of years, but you're gonna get draft picks. You're gonna get players over. You're gonna save up some cash to make a big budget, and you're eventually going to hit on something that's going to come in your direction. So a draft pick will come in, and he could be good. He could be good. He might not be, but it's part of the rebuild. But as long as you keep at the plan, you keep bringing stuff in, you keep bringing people in, and you just get one hit, then all of a sudden things can change around. You'll get interest from other people. Like, again, in sports analogy, you get interest from other players, and they'll want to come over. And so, look, Marvel was the first to do it. Not going to take anything away from that. But DC have a chance now because superhero movies is the thing in cinema right now. And they have the pieces. It's just got to be done right. So, yeah.
Everything that I want to say back to that is in a Black Adam discussion. So I won't say anything back to that.
Well, I'm not gonna help me balance on Black Adam because that's just not what I want to base DC on.
Yeah.
But there is another character we want to base DC on, and it is now in development, and we are going to get a Superman movie.
Yeah.
With Henry Cavill. So that is official. That's no spoilers or whatever, because that's out there. Can we discuss that? Please.
Well, I'd say it is spoilers, but yeah, okay.
I didn't say spoilers to anything, but the news is out because it's in development.
Yeah. Well, I think a successful Superman movie needs to be either one of three things. It either needs to finally have frickin' Brainiac and do the whole Brainiac story, right? It's either versus Black Adam, but there's obviously got to be a lot more to the storyline than that. Or three, just something completely different that we haven't thought of that is anything other than Lex Luthor, and the same that we've gotten for the last 40 years.
Right?
I think that we just need meat and potatoes for Superman. And if they just do that, people will be happy.
Yeah, but what's meat and potatoes mean to you? Because meat and potatoes could mean Lex Luthor again.
Meat and potatoes just means hopeful Superman who saves people and inspires people as well.
Yeah, and I want
and
that
potentially
too.
Lex Luthor as well.
Well, I was going to say, because I want that too, and you're right, but who's the villain? It can't be Lex Luthor again. And if it is, God damn it, mate. Do a Superman movie without Lex Luthor, for crying out loud.
Yeah. Oh, it's the same sort of situation as Joker, I guess. For the non-comic book fans, it's going to draw the crowd because people are familiar with it.
Yeah.
I really like Chuck Brown, Black Panther. He's a good writer. Stephanie Williams, Wakanda, yes. They're about to do the... I think it's got solicited for the Black History Month in January or something like that. Them two writers are going to be in it. Anyway, back to the Superman. I kind of agree. I'm going to be in the middle here. Kind of agree with you both. I think whatever happens, Superman's going to draw a massive crowd because everybody wants to see this. They're going to go see it. I bet there wouldn't be a person in the world that wouldn't want to go see a new Henry Cavill movie as Superman. So I think it's going to bring the money, but it all depends on what the quality is going to be, what the storyline's going to be. But there was a good comment I heard about today, and it was about Black Adam as well. People get tied up in, like, what's the story going to be like? What's this going to be like? What's that going to be like? Can't we just enjoy a very good action movie? Because I come from the era where it was just action movies, where Stallone, Schwarzenegger, I just wanted to go see them. None of them had range as actors at all. I just wanted to be entertained. I'm still that person deep down inside. Like, I like to see a good, well-acted movie, don't get me wrong, but maybe superheroes is not that type of movie to be worrying about that area. So give me Superman, give me flying, give me punching people, give me some evil bastard who's trying to take over the world. I'll be happy.
See, I get your point, and it is hard to argue that way of thinking. However, I do disagree because I think Marvel originally, with their original line of movies, have proven that there is no superhero genre. There is romance, there is comedy, there is action, there is all these other genres, and superhero movies can fit into any one of those genres. So again, it's hard to argue with the way that you're saying it. Can't you just have a good action film like we used to back in the 80s? And you're right.
But keep in mind, originally DC Comics was called Action Comics.
Yeah,
that was Superman now.
I think the reason why I feel the way that I do towards, let's say, Black Adam movie is because if Black Adam movie wasn't a comic beforehand, and this was the movie that we'd gotten, yeah, I'd probably have a different opinion of it. The reason why I've got this opinion without going into the discussion about Black Adam and spoiling anything about Black Adam is basically that, and again, it's very egotistical to say something like what I'm about to say, but it is true. If I wrote the movie, I wouldn't have done it so Hollywoodish. I would have done it a lot more storytelling, grounded, epic storytelling. They're more just the way they went. I hope that makes sense.
Yeah. No, sure. Okay. Yeah, well, that's fine. That's fine, yeah.
Here's the thing, though. It needs to be quite Hollywoody to bring all the people in, because people will go into the theatre to see the spectacle.
Yeah, and that's, again, goes back to the argument of they're making it for the general public.
Yeah. Don't get me wrong. I don't want, like, a stupid, just punchy action or whatever. I want a storyline. I want a love story. But that all comes hand in hand when you got Lois, when you got friends like White, and then you got Jimmy Olsen in there as well. Chuck him in there. Lex Luthor, a complex sort of character, but I'm with you, but I don't want him to be the main villain, but I wouldn't mind him to be in the background sort of thing.
Yeah, true.
I wouldn't mind him in there somewhere, even if it's just end credits. I don't mind. Look, I want a Hank Henshaw one because, to be honest, to go completely 180 on what I said about action movie, because that is a really emotional story, but it is a violent one. So, yeah.
I wonder how you'd pull Hank Henshaw off without the death of Superman, though. You know what I mean? Like, I guess what they could do in the movie is a new superhero emerges that isn't Superman, and they just make up a new superhero, and half of him's a robot, and they just do the exact same thing. That's possible.
Well, Hank Henshaw, you can just do his origin story and just not put in that bit, because his origin story is kind of like Fantastic Four. They go up into the sky. Something bad happens to the whole crew. They all start dying. His wife comes back, and he's just like I don't even know the word. He's a living being, but he's just through electricity.
Yeah.
And then he starts talking to his wife through the TV, and she ends up killing herself because she thinks he's going crazy. And then so he finds in Lex Luthor Labs a robot Superman that has the same powers that Lex has been building. Put him into that. He blames Superman for it. Bam, you got your movie.
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be cool.
Maybe. But look, if you want to go big Hollywood one, or not big Hollywood because that's not what you wanted, but if you wanted to go big, it's Brainiac. You're right.
I've got no problem with big Hollywood movies. I love big Hollywood movies. It's just I didn't want it with for this movie, is what I mean.
Sure. Righto. Yeah, I'm with you. It's definitely there is a fine line here. I mean, like it needs to get it would be so hard. Like I'd hate to write this new Superman movie because we've waited too long. Like if it just happened 2 years after Man of Steel, fine.
Yeah.
And now we've waited so long.
Yeah. It's really going
to all it really needs to do, in my opinion. So you have Lex Luthor as the big villain of the movie, and then you have someone who Superman can punch, like Parasite. It's all you need.
Yeah, I still think that's too easy, though. You know what I mean? Like, maybe this speaks more about me than what we're getting, but I think we've just seen so much now, and there are so many options for what comes next that you want something unique or interesting, and not just your A plus B equals C. Do you know
I'm going to remember this when we talk about Black Panther.
I'm just saying that even though it would be cool to have a Lex Luthor villain in the background movie, he's controlling Parasite, and Parasite is sucking on Superman and getting bigger and all that. It'd have a lot of great action scenes. It would look really, really cool. And even though I'd probably still really enjoy it, would you rather that or like a really smart Brainiac movie or a really trippy Mixopatelic movie or something? You know what I mean?
Even though Brainiac is a Superman villain, I'd rather them use him in a Justice League movie.
Yeah.
Still, I don't really want a Justice League movie anytime soon. I want them to figure out their single characters first. But Brainiac's a draw card that they could really, really use. I'm not sure if they should use it straight away, but it's definitely a draw card that they should use at some stage.
They could use.
What's that?
Even the Eradicator they could use.
Metallo's not a bad one.
Yeah.
Metallo's not a bad one. You got a few others. You got Mongol. I think he's all right.
Yeah, Mongol would be a good one.
Yeah, they could do Warworld as well.
Yeah, well, if they really want to go spacey sort of thing, but I don't think that's a good idea straight away to do Warworld, make him on another planet. That might lose a few fans. It's got to be a Metropolis, so yeah.
Yeah.
So I'll go on to next bit of news. So we have got James Gunn is developing a new mystery DC film.
I know. What could that be?
Well, we got news that Idris Elba was going to play Bloodsport again, and he was working on a project with Bloodsport. Don't know if that would have been a movie, but yeah, it's possible.
What if James Gunn does like a Green Arrow movie?
Take my money.
Yeah. I'm hoping it's a Weasel film.
A Weasel film? Don't know if they'll make it a film, but
because like with James Gunn, he's not going to pick like a really, really big character, and I feel like Green Arrow, he is like a nice B-list DC character.
especially movie wise, I think they're going to. And you're right there, Ryan. He's probably due to his style. It's going to be somebody that he could possibly make it humorous as well. And Green Arrow kind of fits that bill sometimes because Ollie's sometimes can be a bit arrogant and jokey in his way. So, but yeah. Any more thoughts on that one, or should we move on to the next one?
No, move on.
So we have got Matt Reeves has apparently got a few projects for villain TV shows. So we have got Clayface, Scarecrow, and Professor Pig in the works. And he's already got Penguin TV HBO Max series. Any thoughts on that?
I want Professor Pig to be like that Jeffrey Dahmer movie.
God, Professor Pig would be freaky, wouldn't it?
It would have to be a horror movie, wouldn't it?
God.
Have to be. Psychological horror. Easily.
That'd be so creepy. Who was the other ones?
Scarecrow and Clayface.
Yeah, well, that's just easy. Yeah.
I think there's a story there for Scarecrow, isn't there?
Yeah. There's a story for all of them, but yeah, Clayface would be good.
Clayface, he's underrated. Like he's got a good story behind him. So yeah.
God, imagine them doing all the Batman villains. How good that would be.
Yeah.
I want to get
really.
my Quest movie.
Yeah. Matt Reeves.
I'm just waiting for my Killer Moth TV show.
Well, you're lucky you're young, right? Could be waiting a bit longer. So what else have we got here? Adam Driver is rumoured to be in talks to play Reed Richards. So
yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know if I can look at that face the whole time.
Right.
I mean, he's good. What happened to the guy in You? He was rumoured to be Reed Richards at one point.
Wasn't he? So everyone's getting rumoured to be Reed Richards. I don't know which one to believe, but yeah.
Because I don't even know what to do with that. I just kind of don't like that. Driver's a good actor, but I don't see it.
Same. I was happy with the guy from You. I thought he'd do it well.
Yeah,
not Driver,
I just want them to announce this bloody cast so these rumors will just go away.
Go away. Yeah, agree. Yeah, I don't know what to think of it. As soon as I heard it, I was going, really? This doesn't make any sense. I mean, like, he'd be a cool Dr. Doom, kind of, wouldn't he?
Yeah, I'd definitely see him pulling off a Dr. Doom more than a Reed Richards, that's for sure.
Which brings me on to my next segment. I'm going to put you guys on the spot here. And maybe if anybody else is listening, get your pens ready or get your typer ready and send in your answers. Let's rank your Fantastic Four. Start from 1 through to 4. The 4 characters.
Oh, the characters, not the movies. Okay.
No, not the movies. They all suck.
Ryan, you go first, mate.
It's Reed, Ben, Johnny, Sue.
Reed, Ben, Johnny, Sue. Okay. Mark, you're next. I've got to wait.
All right, I'll go Reed, Sue, Ben, then Johnny.
Wow. Okay. Johnny, Ben, Reed, Sue.
Nice.
So no one likes Sue Storm. It's good to know.
No, it's not that. I do like Sue. She's just the 4th best.
Yeah. Yeah. I put it at number 2, but all right. So we will go with, what else did I have here?
Did you hear about the Back to the Future musical?
Oh. No, I did not.
That's it. That's all I got. There's a Back to the Future musical coming. They did an ad for it, and it's the guy playing the professor is actually an actor that I guarantee you'd probably recognise from something. And Christopher Lloyd even does like a guest appearance on the ad. So like the guy playing the doctor's like, "Oh, is this car going to work or whatever?" And Christopher Lloyd says, "Yeah, I bet you it will." You know, but yeah, that's exciting. I wonder how that's going to go. Like, I wonder if it gets big enough they bring it to Australia or something. But yeah, I reckon that's a good one to make a musical. Out of all the stuff that's being made musicals these days,
I think it'll bring the nostalgic crowd. I mean, like, there's a market there. It's not a bad idea. It did kind of had some hit songs in it, like "Hip to Be Square," isn't it? And
yeah, it'll be interesting to see the music that they go with, won't it?
It would be very 90s.
I can't wait till we eventually get to Rambo the musical.
Remember that?
I want to fight him in the jungle.
And you remember the Little Pig song, that heavy metal song? That little pig,
little pig, let me in.
Remember at the very end, he goes, yeah. Remember at the very end, he goes, he checked out Rambo.
That was by Green Jelly.
That's it, Green Jelly. I knew it was Green something, but yeah.
I had that on single.
They had no other good songs, did they?
Oh, look at this guy. Kevin Spacey was going to do Reed Richards, but they didn't think he could pull it off. Madonna was going to do Sue Storm, but they couldn't see her in it. Where's my thing, Omni? I ordered that like a year ago.
The thing?
It's coming.
Fucking hell, mate. That thing's
there had... Go on, mate. Sorry.
No, that was it. I was just bitching about the Omni.
Oh, fair enough. There is a script for Flash 2, apparently.
Yeah, don't cast Ezra Miller. Script over.
Pretty much. I'm hoping it's a Wally West one, which, yeah.
Can we quickly talk about what's happened with Ezra Miller as well?
You go for it.
He could be going to jail for up to 25 years if he's found guilty.
25 years?
Yep.
Because he pleaded innocent, didn't he? If he pleaded guilty, that would be reduced. Yeah.
That's insane, isn't it?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, man. He's in some serious trouble if he gets proven.
God, he would have been better off being a drug addict or a dealer. Would have got a lot less time.
It's a slap on the wrist, mate. On your way.
Oh, yeah. God. When's that movie coming out now?
March or Jan or something like that.
For a movie called The Flash, it's sure taken a long time to come out.
Yeah. Is he excited for Black Panther? I saw the preview when I was into Black Adam again.
Yeah, man. I cannot wait for that. Can't wait. When's it out? Next week or the week after?
Well, 10th here in Australia. So
2 weeks. Oh, yeah, man. I can't wait for that. Gonna get me
one day we should rank the MCU movies up to the end of Phase 3. And
well, that's what we're doing, though.
My thoughts about Black Panther.
That's what we're doing, though. Through the MCU, we've just been doing it really slowly.
Yeah, because I've been putting down our scores, and I'm going to rank them at the very end through our scores. So yeah, we'll get there, and then we'll have a big episode at the very end of our official rankings. Because this way, if we're not ranking it on the spot, if we're ranking it each movie at a time as we rewatch it every 2 or 3 weeks, we might not know what we scored the other ones at the time.
Yeah.
Which also brought me to an idea for this show, and people have suggestions for us. I want to have a Cage-a-thon, a Nicolas Cage-a-thon.
Oh, that sounds entertaining.
As long as we get to watch National Treasure.
Well, I'm sure it'll be in there. I reckon we asked fans what they want. Nicolas Cage movie they want us to see. And let's Cage-a-thon it on.
Well, mate, it's obviously going to be the greatest Nick Cage movie of all time, and that is
National Treasure.
Off. Sorry, National Treasure can be number 2. Face Off.
Nah, it can't be number 2 because The Rock is number 2.
The Rock, yes. Gone in 60 seconds.
Also a good movie. I just watched that movie where he plays himself, Massive Talent.
I want to see that. I haven't seen that yet.
It was good, man. Like, first half was weird, really weird. Then the second half was good. I recommend it. Con Air, yep, another good one.
Oh, mate.
He got some bad ones in there too, which would be fun to watch.
Oh, he does. Have you seen the one he did last year where he walks into the house of the old like Barnacle Bill, sort of like and they're all possessed.
I thought you were going to say Pig. There's a movie about something he wants to protect the pig.
I know the one you're talking about. Yeah, I haven't seen that one yet. Have you?
No.
It's called Pig.
Yeah.
No, this one is about he's traveling through town. He's looking to make a few bucks. He gets told to go clean inside this restaurant that doesn't exist anymore. It's run down, and they want to bring it back. And inside the restaurant is one of these on the stage are these robotic characters. And if you put 20 cents in or whatever, they come and sing. And all of them are possessed by demons, and they all try to kill him. And it's whack, man. It's whack.
There was another movie also recent that he was in. It's called Jiu-Jitsu, and it's a Jiu-Jitsu contest. Like, it's like Mortal Kombat, but they're Jiu-Jitsu warriors.
Right? Wasn't he in another one where an alien knew kung fu or karate or taekwondo or something?
That could be jiu-jitsu, I think.
Yeah, and he turns around, he says, this alien knows jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
It is that one, huh? Yeah.
It must be. I think it's called jiu-jitsu.
What a weirdo. What a weird movie that is. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I like it. Cage-a-thon.
Cage-a-thon. Let's get it on.
Are you excited for the National Treasure TV show, Ryan?
Yes, it's National Treasure, and it's got some of the original cast coming back, so plenty to be excited about.
Yeah, both movies were very good. I do have to admit, I still watch them today. You can watch them anytime, basically. They're just so damn enjoyable.
I never saw them until last year.
All right. What do you think?
Yeah. They're good. Before watching them, I just wasn't interested in watching a different version of Indiana Jones, but I was surprised. It was good.
Sprinkle a lot of history in there, don't they? And it's kind of nice.
I'm going to steal the Declaration of Independence.
Yeah.
Oh, we got anything else before we shoot off?
I've got one thing I can talk about.
You did too, didn't you?
Gotham Knights came out on Friday, and I put a couple hours into that game. And all I have to say about it is that the story is okay. The dialogue, not the greatest. The gameplay is doesn't feel very fluid. It just constantly feels like you're just hitting something that's like a brick wall every time you hit an enemy.
Yeah.
It's not fun to run around in the game.
This doesn't sound good at all.
Yeah. No, it's not good.
Which character did you play as?
Robin.
Tim Drake one, yeah.
Yep, I went with Tim Drake, and then I went with Batgirl for a little bit, and the game just doesn't run well as well. Like, it just stutters all the time.
It's disappointing because they've had many years making that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a shame. How much did that set you back?
It's 110.
Yeah, that's a shame to spend that much money and not get what you want.
Yeah, they're doing that a lot lately. I remember when that Avengers game first came out, and I had that on pre-order, and I got it, and it was, not great. Gameplay was, and that was rumored for years as well, just like Gotham Knights. Who knows what this Suicide Squad versus Justice League is going to be like? And
that Suicide Squad game will probably be good because it's by Rocksteady.
Yeah, that looked amazing. That looked amazing. When's that out?
Next year, I think.
Oh,
wow,
God.
that's taken a long time too.
Yeah. Seems like a year ago we saw that trailer.
It was 2 years ago, I thought.
Almost. Oh, God.
It was in lockdown, so yeah.
Was it the first fandom or the second fandom?
First fandom, I reckon. Both. Both. Okay, there you go.
Bloody hell. All right.
Is Suicide Squad going to be the game that brings Bo Roth out of gaming retirement?
Yeah, it might be. I love Evil Superman. And if, I get to... Mate, Spider-Man didn't get me out of retirement. All the new wrestling games haven't got me out of retirement. New Mortal Kombat hasn't got me out of retirement. I'd be surprised if it was Justice League.
What would bring you out of retirement? Street Fighter?
No. Marvel versus Mortal Kombat. Marvel versus Mortal Kombat.
Okay. It was a DC versus Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, I want Marvel versus Mortal Kombat. The best I can get at the moment is Marvel versus Capcom.
I think
we don't talk about that fourth game.
Is that the one that's Street Fighter? They own Capcom, don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that game's at Bionica.
Yeah.
Played it one time.
Yeah, it is too. Yeah. The only way I know how to ever win is by being Wolverine and Ryu.
Yeah. I went Captain America and I sucked as him, and then I went Wolverine and I won like 4 or 5 in a row.
Berserker Rage.
Yeah.
That's why. It's like the old cheating Street Fighter when you forgot how to use the moves. You'd go Baraka, and you could just hit the button and electrocute. Yeah.
Honda the same. You could just do that chopping.
Having never played Marvel vs. Capcom, from what I understand, one of the better characters is Sentinel.
I don't even remember Sentinel.
No, neither do I.
Is that just like an X-Men Sentinel?
Yeah.
Oh, God, don't even remember that. Yeah. You know what nearly got me out of retirement? The Mortal Kombat that had RoboCop, Spawn, Rambo.
Freddy.
So the new one.
Yeah, man.
Freddy and Jason's in it. Yeah.
Yeah. Couldn't believe that. Oh, mate.
Yeah.
All right. You got any fun facts for us before we go?
I just got how weird it would have been to create bubblegum. Like, how would have that ever come about? Like, seriously. Like, let's chew something but not eat it.
Not only that, but doesn't it come from horses' feet?
Ooh, that's even worse. I do have an interesting, like, this is a fact, it's a fact in a few people's history, but it's not 100%, but it's one of the rumors back in the day. But witches' hats first got created because it was a way, because the whole witches thing, and they stir in the pot. Apparently they used to stir the pot of beer when it first got created. And that's how you knew they were selling beer, because they wore a big hat that curled around. And then eventually, because it got people drunk and they weren't realizing that, and they thought they cast a spell on them, so they called them witches at the time.
So what you're saying is beer is a magic potion.
Yes. Beer was originally that's in some ancient sort of myth that's the reason why they wore the hats, because they stirred beer, and that's where you knew where to buy beer, was by the hat.
Well, that's fascinating, but I've got to admit I can't get past the how do you create bubblegum, because you're right.
Yeah. It's one thing that popped into my head today. I was going, like, why did you? Like,
I feel like chewing something, but I don't feel like eating it.
Yeah.
It's got some flavor in my mouth. I don't know why I'm being a Texan.
And how did it even become a hit? Like, who wanted to go to the store and buy that?
The guy who made it probably did it by accident.
Yep.
Yeah, but then Mark's got another point, though. How do you sell it? Here.
No, you don't eat it. You just chew it.
You know that maybe we're after chewing tobacco. You know that chewing tobacco? What if it tasted good?
Yeah. Well, that's probably what it would have linked to, wouldn't it? Because chewing tobacco was the thing, according to the movies.
All right. Thank you very much for joining us once again for AussieVerse Comics and Collectors. We will be back next Monday for a very special Halloween-themed episode. We will be doing a couple of Halloween videos if we can. We have some more videos being recorded this week as well. So we will see you throughout this week, next week, and as I just said, Halloween on Monday next week. That's a wrap, guys. As usual, AussieVerse is what?
For life.
That's right. Thanks, Ryan. We will see you next week. And let's have a great word from our sponsor, the boys at Comx Studios.
This show is sponsored by the Comx Shop. Check out comx.cx for all things Comx and find out what Comx is all about. Then head over to comx.shop to pick up a variety of Australian comics from multiple creators and publishers, all for one flat postage rate. And don't forget to check out the Comx channel on YouTube. We hope you enjoyed the show.